Yo, laughing man. What's up? Yeah, I mean, I was testing it out, right? So I was trying to stream on Discord for a little bit to test it out. I was trying to test it out. I don't know if I was playing. I don't know what I was doing. I was just trying to see if I could stream a bit on Discord, but I definitely want to stream more. You know, copyrighted stuff on Discord. So I don't have to deal with crazy stuff. So I want to do that. All right, I just have some. Brent, what is up? What is up, my brother? How you doing? Roots, what is up? What is up? Justin, thank you for stopping by. Thank you guys for stopping by. All right, so I have some stuff I wanted to check out. And I figured, why not? Let's check them out together, right? I have a bunch of videos I want to look at. So let's start. Let's get started. I have a lot of videos. I have a good amount of videos. Excuse me. So I want to get started. I want to check them out.
Susan Hudson is not only the first female sheriff of Orleans Parish, she's also the state's first black woman to occupy the sheriff's office in the state, period.
We're going to talk about history. When you do break a glass ceiling, you got to celebrate it.
A new sheriff in town, Susan Hudson breaking barriers indeed, as the first African-American female sheriff in the state's history.
I'm tired of this shit. I mean, she's, you'll be seeing it, right? She's been talked about for a little bit. I don't give a shit if you're the first of whatever. Right? I don't care. I don't care if you're the first. I care what your action, what's your merits, what will you do, right? What is your qualifications for this job, for this whatever? That's what you should care about. When your actions can affect a good amount of people, right? A good amount of people. I don't give a shit if you're an alien, right? I don't care what color you are. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care. What I care about is how good you are at that. Give me a second. I care about your qualifications, right? Were you the best candidate? Were you the best candidate? That's what I care about.
Few moments later.
Breaking news.
Orleans Sheriff Susan Hudson is indicted on 30 felony counts.
So, the first black female sheriff in the state of Louisiana has been indicted on 30 felony counts. You can't make this stuff up. Here's a quick message from our sponsor, and she's about to make history being the first black female sheriff in Louisiana's history.
We're going to talk about history. When you do.
Why is she the first? I mean, the most, the most accomplished, right? The most accomplished, right? Sheriff in Louisiana history. Why isn't that? Why don't we focus on that? She's the most accomplished sheriff. No, she's the first black whatever. Who cares?
Break a glass ceiling, you got to celebrate it.
A new sheriff in town, Susan Hudson breaking barriers indeed, as the first African-American female sheriff in the state's history.
I was looking at how long Louisiana's been a state, right? 200 plus years, and all that time, not one African-American woman has been able to get to this position.
And now what? Right? You focused on, see, this is why I don't want to focus on that shit, right? I don't want to focus on that shit because now you pretty much set women back. You pretty much, because you ran on being the first black woman to be a sheriff. Now you set women back. You set black women back because this is the representation, right? You are a criminal, right? Even when you have a respectful job, you can't stop being a criminal.
Position, 2022, right? And so you're like, it's time for all those barriers to be broken down.
First a parade, then the inauguration ceremony.
Now, Susan Hudson is a political activist. She's extremely progressive and left-wing. And before becoming sheriff, she actually served as the independent police monitor for New Orleans.
Let me give you a little bit of a background of Susan Hudson. She's running on a progressive platform, and she scored a major endorsement from Orleans Parish District Attorney Jason Williams, who also ran on that similar progressive platform during his race last year. Now, Hudson has...
Isn't that interesting? A liberal, a progressive that is corrupt.
No political experience, but says it's time for a change, and she's focusing on what she calls the 3C ideology: care, custody, and control.
Before voters named her sheriff, she spent 11 years as New Orleans independent police monitor.
So you have this extremely progressive sheriff whose plan essentially is, we don't really want to punish people. We don't want to put people in jail for their crimes. We want to pretend like crime doesn't exist. And this is horrible for the people of New Orleans because New Orleans has a huge crime problem. Remember when the district attorney of New Orleans was actually carjacked with his mom?
My mother's really shook up. She keeps reliving it. But we're just thankful that we're alive. Nobody's hurt.
This is surveillance video from moments after the teens allegedly stole Williams' car. Amaja Curtis.
Well, when you're progressive, when you're a liberal, you get what you deserve.
Dejon Curtis, Santan Gilmore, and Ahmad Seals have all been charged as adults in this.
Why are there no pictures? Why are there no pictures? You see this? You see this? Why are there no pictures? I'm pretty sure if this was Nick, John, I don't know, Sam, Ed, you would see pictures of white men, right? White boys. I guarantee you, they would put pictures of white boys. Every liberal is a liar. This is the thing. Liberals are no better.
This case.
So the people of New Orleans said, hey, let's hire the most progressive, anti-police person we could as sheriff, and that's what they did. So what do you think happened? Well, obviously things went off the rails immediately. See, since she is sheriff, she handles the jails. And immediately, inmates went crazy and conditions at the jail worsened under her tenure.
Yeah, but weeks into Hudson's tenure, inmates in a high security pod at the Orleans Justice Center barricaded themselves in that pod, blocking out staff. That standoff lasted 3 days, with inmates demanding better conditions. A report by federal jail monitors claimed.
So you are a liberal, and you run on, like, I don't know, pro criminal. Yet you don't even like, I don't know, do shit better for the criminals. Okay.
That conditions in the jail had worsened in some cases under Hudson's oversight.
So under the progressive sheriff, things actually got worse for the inmates, not better. And then the controversies just started racking up. For instance, her incompetence caused the court to hold her in contempt because she wasn't securing transportation from inmates from the jail to the court.
A New Orleans judge is accusing the sheriff of contempt of court, and she's now being ordered to appear before that judge tomorrow afternoon. Criminal District Chief Judge Tracy Flemings Davalier says that Sheriff Susan Hudson is ignoring a court order to transport recent arrestees from jail to magistrate court on weekends and holidays. Now, during the pandemic, that process was paused, going to Zoom and then doing transports during the week. However, on June 18th, the judge issued an order for Hudson to resume those weekend and and holiday transports beginning this past Saturday.
Now, this became so bad, they were going to sentence her to like 6 months in prison with a $500 fine. But the appeals court last second stepped in and said, let's slow it down because she is the sheriff.
Last Friday, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals.
Who cares? If you're incompetent, you're incompetent. Period. This is right here. This is the forced DI I'm talking about, right? I had hope, right? I had hope that Civil Rights Act, that, you're more free than ever, less value on, race, hopefully more focus on, character. I had hope that if we break that barrier, we view people on their skin tone. We will view people based purely on their merits, their character, right? Their accomplishments, who they are. But no, it's like we value skin tone more than ever before. That's the insanity. We value skin tone more than ever before. I was like, then what's the difference? So instead of caring about the white man, right, the white man's skin tone, now we care about black people or other races' skin tone. So you just instead of being racist to whatever, right, racist to minorities, now you're just go in reverse. I need to completely ignore the white man and just go for the minorities. Hey DA, I know this is off topic, but did you see what I sent you on Discord message? I just scanned the 2 cards and the value of them. I like them. Did you see this? Let me check it out. Oops. Because I didn't see it, but let me check it. Oh, a Dark Magician. That's not bad. A Dark Magician and a Time Wizard. Great cards. Are those first editions? If you definitely get a 10 out of those, that would be pretty badass. That'd be pretty badass if you get a 10 of those.
Temporarily suspended Sheriff Susan Hudson's contempt of court ruling at the last minute, and WWL exclusively received the documents supporting that stay by the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals. Sheriff Susan Hudson was set to face up to 6 months imprisonment or a fine of up to $500. That's because the Chief Judge of Orleans Parish Criminal Court held the sheriff contempt of court for failing to provide a staff of deputies for magistrate court for weekend sessions.
Now, if being found in contempt of court is not enough, the money started becoming a little funny. Now, context is key. During Mardi Gras, the city is packed. Local law enforcement needs backup. The sheriff backfills her staff by bringing in officers from other parishes. Since these officers are coming from out of town, the protocol is to reserve hotel rooms for them so they can have a place to stay while they work those grueling shifts. Now, as per protocol, the sheriff reserved a total of 90 rooms across multiple hotels. And obviously, these rooms couldn't be used by the...
I did not hear that. How does the kid find that? Like what? His dad worked there or something? Find if it's an authentic, right? Authentic, uncut, blue eyes white dragon. That'd be some coins.
Sheriff's on staff because they lived in the city and they can just go home. So why would the sheriff's department need to pay for hotel rooms for the local staff? They live there.
Information from the New Orleans Office of Inspector General about Sheriff Hudson's hotel reservations during Mardi Gras. The rooms were supposed to be used by law enforcement who had to drive into town to help the NOPD during parades. But in a new report, the Inspector General finds that the sheriff reserved 13 rooms at the Omni Royal Orleans for her command staff, not for any out-of-towners. Her staff members stayed.
Isn't that that's very sus. Very sus. This is a thing where money laundering anyone, right? Or what is it? Embezzlement or using taxpayers' money for yourself?
There for a total of 37 nights, but the sheriff had reserved and paid for 90 nights. the total cost of about $18,000. And according to the OIG, most of that came from the 53 nights when the rooms remained empty.
So the sheriff had a lot to answer for. Why is your staff staying in high-end hotels when they live in the same city? Here's what the sheriff had to say.
I don't see a controversy here, no. I see this as being money well spent to make sure that $1 million was also well spent.
That was Orleans Parish Sheriff.
Wait, what? What does that mean? Money well spent. So $1 million is well spent? What the Are you stupid?
Susan Hudson defending her decision to house 13 top deputies at local hotels, some for 11 days and nights while they helped with Carnival Parade security. But within hours of that interview, here was Hudson again.
An honorary deputy of the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office. Love my sheriff.
That was Hudson thanking the owners of LA Canine, a police dog training company in Vermilion Parish. The company agreed to donate more than $19,000 to pay for those hotel rooms at the Omni Royal Orleans, Sheraton, and Marriott. However, in this Facebook post by one of the owners, Lance Broussard, he characterized the donation as helping the sheriff with, quote, a little problem.
So crisis averted. The city got all its money back and...
Kind of like it's, what is it? Getting a special treatment, right? So you are probably hiring this canine unit, okay? So you're pat in their pockets so they can help you with this controversy. Interesting. You know what? I was thinking about the Egyptian god cards, the 3 of them. I forgot their name. Yeah, I know. And plus, my niece got those giant Pokemon cards, 2 of them. I'm not sure if you know them. The Egyptian god cards don't cost much, and those big ass Pokemon cards, they don't cost much either. Now, if you don't care if they cost anything, then they're cool, right? I would love the great Egyptian god cards. I would love them. They're not really highly collectible, but I'm gonna get her the original starter deck because she got all new. Probably be a gem. Yeah, that'd be cool. Greed is a sin. I agree, Justin.
And the sheriff was off the hook. Now, we got a problem. We got this woman who's been elected sheriff. She's supposed to be in charge of running a jail, but has no experience running jails. So things kind of got out of control.
Legislative audit just released today scrutinized 3 years of operations at the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Department. It found over 1,000 instances of potential payroll fraud, leading to chronic staff shortages and missing cell block security patrols. The auditor found deputies performed less than 30% of required sale checks, and some cell blocks just performing 4% of those timed security patrols. Staffing is a source of the problem, according to the report, with some deputies allowed to double book shifts, staffing off-duty details at the same time they're scheduled to secure the jail. The auditor counting over 1,300 instances of what the report describes as this potential payroll fraud involving 179 deputies over 3 years.
So as you see, the sheriff wasn't really doing a great job. And then you had the fact that there was a massive jailbreak.
Massive manhunt after a stunning jailbreak in New Orleans. 10 inmates escaping, some charged with murder, all considered armed and dangerous. And authorities tonight investigating whether this was an inside job. Here's ABC's Maria Villarreal.
Tonight, these stunning images from inside a New Orleans jail cell where 10 inmates, some charged with murder, escaped, sparking an urgent citywide manhunt. The toilet dislodged from a cell wall, exposing an opening. Scrawled on the wall above, "We innocent and too easy," with an arrow toward the hole where they escaped, out of view of the officer on duty.
Yeah, the inmate was right. This was too easy. So here's what authorities said happened.
Authorities say it happened just after midnight when the inmates broke a lock on a cell door.
They were still able to exit the jail about 1:01 a.m. after breaching a wall behind a toilet in the jail. And based on video surveillance, they were seen exiting a door on the docks where we normally bring in supplies, scaling a wall and running across the interstate.
Officials believe the escapees had help.
These detainees received assistance in their escape from individuals inside of our department.
They say the toilet
Probably her.
could not be removed with bare hands, suggesting someone inside the jail system may have helped the inmates unscrew it with a power tool.
And yes, there was an inside man. Police arrested him.
The hunt continues for the inmates still at large after breaking out of the local jail in New Orleans. But cops say they've found the inside man they believed helped them. A maintenance worker at the jail has been arrested, accused of cutting off the water.
The jail worker has been identified as 33-year-old Sterling Williams. He reportedly claims he was coerced into turning off the water by an inmate who threatened to shank him if he didn't play ball.
Now, just to put everyone's mind at ease, all 10 of those convicts were returned back to prison.
In another development months in the making, the last of 10 inmates who escaped from Louisiana jail in May was captured today in Atlanta.
Officials say a Crime Stoppers tip this summer led them there, and they found the fugitive hiding in a crawl space.
10 men who escaped from a Louisiana jail in May by crawling through a hole cut in the wall behind a toilet. Above the hole, someone had written messages to the jailers, including this misspelled one, "Too easy, LOL." Groves was the last of the 10 escapees to be found and also the most violent. He was convicted of murdering 2 men on Mardi Gras in 2018. The New Orleans prosecutor says he is facing multiple life sentences.
So obviously it seems like we had a bigger problem at play here. So state investigators looked at the whole department to see how things were being run. And after their investigation, they decided it was time to indict the sheriff.
We start with some major breaking news. Orleans Parish Sheriff Susan Hudson indicted in connection.
You should also indict or I don't know, arrest North Atlanta. Okay. You should also arrest everyone who elected her or was part of getting her elected.
Connection with an investigation into last year's jailbreak in New Orleans.
So this indictment comes in connection.
Whoa, your friend is definitely a Yu-Gi-Oh fan.
With a state investigation by Attorney General Liz Murrell's office into last year's mass escape by 10 inmates. The bombshell news came down within just the last hour.
Arrest warrants released Thursday outline some of the state's evidence, alleging Hudson ignored years of federal monitors' repeated warnings that, quote, enabled 10 dangerous inmates to escape and remain undetected for hours. The warrant describes the jail as understaffed and inmates unsupervised, often relying on one staff member to monitor multiple pods from a control room rather than inside the pod. The warrant also alleges security logs were falsified and the prison's high security unit dissolved. During hours of unsupervised time, a federal monitor found inmates were, quote, assaulting other inmates, assaulting staff, destroying property, starting fires, smoking, possessing dangerous contraband, and or threatening self-harm. In addition to 14 malfeasance charges and 3 charges of filing or maintaining false public records, Hudson is also accused of obstructing justice and conspiring with CFO Bianca Brown to defy a court order. Brown was indicted on 20 similar counts. The arrest warrants are just a peek at the evidence to come.
So now the sheriff's been arrested, got bond, and
why wasn't her arrest recorded? I would have loved to see her in handcuffs being led away.
And made a statement saying, hey, this is not what it seems.
Susan Hudson says she expects complete vindication as she faces 30 felony counts.
In a statement released late Thursday, Sheriff Susan Hudson said she will, quote, aggressively fight to clear my name. And she is, quote, confident the facts will vindicate both me personally and the work I have done. Fox 8 legal analyst Joe Responti expects unsurprising strategies from defense attorneys and state prosecutors.
The defense is going to say that, hey, we tried as hard as we could, we just weren't good enough, and you can't convict somebody for being not good at what their job is.
Now this left me to...
You can't convict someone for being incompetent?
Thinking, who the hell is running the city of New Orleans? The mayor's indicted.
It has been a historic day in New Orleans. For the first time, a sitting mayor of New Orleans is facing federal charges. Today, a federal grand jury handed up an indictment against Mayor LaToya Cantrell and her former bodyguard.
I mean, it might be weak. I mean, I kind of feel like she might be cooking the books and stuff, so we'll see. Because it sounds like, if they look into her department's, financial statements, maybe they'll find some more stuff.
Jeffrey Vappy. She faces 11 counts, including wire fraud, obstruction, and lying to a grand jury. This all centers around their alleged romantic relationship and how much it cost the city of New Orleans.
Okay, so it seems like the sheriff is going to say, hey, just because I'm bad at my job doesn't mean it's criminal. Yes, I had no experience ever in law enforcement, and I got the top law enforcement job because I am extremely progressive. That doesn't mean this is criminal. I'm just bad at being a sheriff. And it's going to be the prosecutors that are going to have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that it was more than that she falsified documents, as you heard, that she intentionally let the jail deteriorate to a point where these things could happen. And then on top of that, lied about it. So
we'll see. We'll have to see. I mean, here's the thing where I don't know. I think I'm not sure if New Orleans is a Democrat-run city. I'm not sure. Probably is. So we'll see. You know, if it's a Democrat-run city, yeah, I think they'll back her up. So.
Here are a few clips from the
How is South Africa now compared to when had mixed race? I don't know. We protect incompetence and allow loopholes and wasteful spending. I think we do. Yes, I agree. I agree with Roots. We do. It's there's so much. This is why. You know what? One of the things I hate. Okay, and I don't think it's completely Trump's fault, right? Because I think Democrats were fighting tooth and nail against it. Is that I really wanted Doge to mean something, right? I wanted Doge to be something important in the government, where we cut off fraud, wasteful spending, budgeting, all this shit, right? The finances, where we audit the hell out of our government. We should be auditing the hell out of our government, right? We should know where every single dime is going in our government. But I believe it was the Democrats were fighting tooth and nail against it.
2023 Golden Globes, hosted by a man who does not deserve to have his name looked up.
Just drinking tea. Really, I'm honored to be making this phone call. He said, one, it's a great opportunity. Thank you for the call. And I told her about how last year didn't hear. She was like, I called Steven back and I said, I'm happy to do this. I got an email from my publicist saying that Helen, a trap when I hear a trap. Gerard, Helen really just wants to educate you.
I thought my jokes were bad.
For the sake of convenience, I will assign this host a name using a fantasy name generator. Okay, Eldwood Martef. Fantastic. Now, Eldwood, God bless him, should never have been on that stage. This is not a case of a competent comedian turning in an awful performance on a bad night. This abysmal Golden Globes ceremony was the predictable result of diversity hiring. Eldwood, no matter how much time he had to prepare, would never have been anything other than a sentient sleeping pill on the night. He got the gig because he's black and he's gay. It was so obvious that Eldwood Martef was a diversity hire.
I've seen this guy a few times. I didn't know he's gay. Hollywood is definitely guilty of this whole DEI shit.
Who had no business being on a high-profile stage, that even Eldwood himself knew he was a diversity hire.
I'm here because I'm black. I'm only being asked to host this, I know, because I'm black.
I'm black and I'm gay. And
no, I assure you, Mr. Reflection, I hired you solely on the basis of your immense talent. You're not only a cherished member of this channel, you are a shining example of how DEI isn't necessary to...
Fuck you! Fuck you! Get the fuck out of here! Fuck you, man! Get the fuck...
everything it comes into contact with. But rather than make a video that ends up being yet another logical, moral, and ideological treatise on the wrongs of DEI, I instead want to focus on the fruits of this demon tree, because that tree is growing. DEI is not a fad. It is a parasitical retrovirus that has bound itself to Hollywood's DNA, and which will continue to cause immense damage before any attempt is made to combat it. As anyone who has ever worked can attest, bad things happen when you promote hacks to their level of incompetence. And as anyone who has watched a Hollywood production in the past few years can attest, attest, nightmares come to life when you promote diversity hacks far beyond their level of competence. So let's examine some of those things.
I definitely can't watch Star Wars. I definitely can't watch Star Wars because of the woke shit.
By holding the fuck still. Instead, it bobs around like the cameraman is drunk. The director almost certainly would not be able to articulate why she chose shaky cam for this scene. She was probably just trying to convey to the audience that she was an artiste, and felt this would best be achieved by mounting the camera atop the shoulders of an 8-year-old child. The lightsaber choreography was a disgrace. The worst Star Wars had ever seen up to that point, though arguably surpassed thereafter by Rosario Dawson's pensioner calisthenics lightsaber fighting style in Ahsoka. The props looked cheap and fake. The staging was amateur and ugly. Shot composition often came off as random and jarring. To give one example of literally hundreds, there is a character whose name I'm not looking up, but who played the smoking hot Ilaria Sand in Game of Thrones. Obi-Wan Kenobi's lead character, Reva, is storming a hidden base with a platoon of stormtroopers, and Ilaria is holding off the entire platoon by herself because... Why is the camera glaring up at her in a gaudy close-up? Whose perspective is this? Would it not make more sense to show her from Obi-Wan's perspective, or Reva's? If the director wanted a neutral third-person perspective shot, why this grotesque, sudden, jarring close-up from below? The editing in Obi-Wan was so bad at times as to be incomprehensible. To give one example, there is a garishly hideous sequence in which Obi-Wan Kenobi's lead character, Reva, has entered the Matrix and is jumping around the roofs of buildings for no identifiable reason. This sequence is spliced with a chase scene in which a peripheral character named Obi-Wan is trying to catch a female toddler who the writers wish us to believe is Princess Leia. Watch this part of the sequence.
Yeah, I don't know. The Tom Holland thing, I thought was such a weird thing, but it is what it is.
What in the hell was that? Why would she put that little jump cut in there? What is it? What is its function? What does it communicate? The editing in Obi-Wan was so obviously terrible that a film editing enthusiast re-edited the entire series into a 2.5-hour movie, which was, by all accounts, much better than the series. To give one example, the editor turned the farcical Baby Leia Benny Hill chase in the forest, in which Flea and his gang struggle to capture a poorly coordinated toddler, from this nonsense into this.
She runs away into the forest and encounters the mercenary, but then we cut it here. No need for the stupid chase, which is truly one of the worst choreographed sequences in all of Star Wars. She's a 10-year-old girl up against trained adult mercenaries. She just gets captured straight away. Done.
All of these technical problems with the Obi-Wan show, and there are many more, have nothing to do with the script. They are the result of bad directing. The director of all 6 episodes of Obi-Wan was Deborah Chow. She was also executive producer. Chow...
I'm sorry. Kick out these women. Women should not be in men's spaces. I'm sorry. I've said this countless times before. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that there's no, female geeks. Of course there are, but sadly, there's no female geeks in Hollywood. All right. Sadly, there's no female geeks in Hollywood. Kick out, okay, all women in men's entertainment. Women shouldn't be in men's action movies besides for the female, love interests, right? No one backstage, no writer that's a woman, no director that's a woman. I'm sorry. Kick them out. All right? They could be some women can be side characters, right? But still love interests. But I'm sorry. Kick out women in men's entertainment. It's poison.
Had previously directed 2 episodes of The Mandalorian and had a few years' experience as a journeyman TV director, working under the close supervision of executive and lead directors. On Obi-Wan Kenobi, she was not only left unsupervised in her direction, but was given total control of the directorial presentation of the entire series. Chow was placed in this position, one she was not qualified for, because she is an Asian woman. Chow was promoted far beyond her level of incompetence, and the result was a show which is increasingly regarded as the worst thing Disney Lucasfilm have ever done. Yes, surely Lucasfilm couldn't possibly ever have made anything worse than the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, right? The Obi-Wan script was Diaonga-infested garbage water, and the show was always...
I mean, still, relegate women to the love interests. That's it. or some other character, right? I'm sorry. They shouldn't be leads, shouldn't be directors, producer, well, maybe producers, but shouldn't be writers.
Is going to be terrible, but the awful direction combined with the garbage script created the perfect shitstorm, one which tore apart what little hope was left for the franchise and alienated the last few holdouts of the Star Wars legacy fanbase.
So in that Star Wars video I made, I said that Obi-Wan was the last time I dared let myself get hopeful for something Star Wars related. And
I don't know if Star Wars is recoverable. I mean, I checked out after Obi-Wan, right?
Yeah. And with regard to the show's casting, we will find you! The less said about that, the better. In the summer of 2022, a movie called Bros briefly appeared in cinemas, bombed, and was quickly forgotten about. The writer, executive producer, and lead actor of Bros was a well-connected wannabe named Billy Eichner, a man who had never written or produced a movie before. Eichner made his name as a one-trick pony on late-night TV, doing brief segments called Billy on the Street, during which he would accost random members of the public and make them...
Yeah, I'm sorry. Kick them out. I'm an 80s baby, right? I grew up on amazing 80s, 90s, early 2000 action movies, right? Those are the movies I grew up on. Sorry, no women directors, no women writers, mainly women as love interests or whatever, right? That's it. Sorry, you want female directors? Direct Barbie movie. Direct the Barbie movie. It's like direct Wicked. Go for it, right? Direct movies direct shit that are geared towards women. Stop touching men's shit. I don't understand. What's the absolute desire for women to be in these spaces? Not a single woman I've seen, right, in men's entertainment spaces actually cared about these spaces to begin with. I'm gonna tell you this, right? I'm gonna tell you this. I am extremely sexist. I'm extremely sexist when it comes to my entertainment. I'm sorry. I'll be honest. I want a John Wick kind of thing. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. Right? It should be a man that is a badass man. Right? He should be badass. He should be, kicking butt, taking names. That's it. And, dealing with a love interest. That's it. I'm sorry. No female lead that's like on her period. No.
Feel uncomfortable with his uber flamboyant gayness.
Hey, Ryan.
What?
No, forget it. Miss, do you want to be Tina Fey's new friend?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you bitch.
Have you gotten your Madonna tickets yet?
Hell no.
Why?
Bros lost the studio that made it, Universal, around $60 million. It is unlikely that a rom-com about two middle-aged homosexuals giving monogamy a shot was going to be a smash hit, despite what the mainstream press was asserting prior to the movie's release. But the sheer scale of Bros' failure massively surpassed even the most optimistic projections. Commercial failure aside, the movie was absolute junk.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, direct that one. Direct that piece of garbage. But stay out of men's entertainment.
I did a video explaining in detail why this vile...
No gay shit. I'm sorry. No gay shit. No girl power shit. None of that. Okay? No progressive BS. Take that out. Stop it.
Drek is so disgustingly bad, and I admit that it would not be unjust to refer to me as a biased source when it comes to a critical analysis of the utter shite that is Bros, given that I would rather share a peach with Timothy Chalamet than be subjected to the auditory calamity that is Billy Eichner's voice.
Am I gonna get butt-fucked by Jason Momoa while we're both, I don't know, worrying about a volcano?
So here's the reaction of the despot's ally, Echo Chamberlain, following his initial viewing of the movie.
I thought generally that the vibe was that it's a good-hearted, intelligent film that couldn't quite find its audience. But I watched it, and no, it's awful. It has no merit. The jokes don't land. It's utterly narcissistic. It's got the most horribly awkward needle drops. It's flat in tone. It's full of ludicrous shifts. And the big thing for me is just in terms of the narcissism.
Billy Eichner was promoted vastly beyond his...
Really? Disney and Lucasfilm data is showing almost 50% female audience for Star Wars? Really? Then that's interesting. Is that true? I don't know. Google says different, right? No, the Star Wars audience is not 50% women. The fan base is predominantly male, with women making up about 30 to 35% viewership. I think that's actually a lot too. About 35% women. I'm a little bit surprised. I'm actually very surprised. I would think that it would be in the 20%. So even that's surprising, right? I'm surprised at that by a lot.
Level of competence because he was a flamboyantly gay man. The result was the second biggest box office bomb of 2022. But every cum-filled peach has a sweet juice inside it, and Bros was both the beginning and the end of Billy Eichner's movie career. He should have gone out with some class, like an acrid fart dancing away in the wind. Instead, he decided he would end his film career with all the grace of a diuretic explosion in an elevator and took to Twitter to blame straight people for his piece of shit movie's failure. If Eichner lived...
I want to talk about that. What's her name? I think she was the director or whatever of Charlie's Angels, right? The newest Charlie's Angel thing. She said before her movie came out, she said her movie was meant for women, right? Her movie was geared towards women, okay? And then when her movie bombed, she said she blamed men. Like, oh, men are the reason why my movie bombed. How? Your audience wasn't ever meant to be men, right? Your audience was meant to be women. So how is it men's fault for not seeing something, not watching something that was never meant for them? Why is it men's fault? Your audience is meant for the gay population, if not maybe a bit some women too. So why is it straight men's fault for not watching your piece of shit when your piece of shit was never meant for men? Honestly, that doesn't make sense, right? That is stupid. It's not, if it's not meant for a certain audience, why do you blame that said audience for no success, for its lack of success? I don't understand it, right? I definitely don't understand it. You can't blame, right? You can't blame, let's say, I think She-Hulk. You can't blame any movie's failure, right? On the group that it was not meant to gear towards. You can't blame them, right? You cannot blame them because your movie, your show, whatever, wasn't meant for them, right? It wasn't geared towards them. So you can't blame them, okay? Because why wasn't your movie or your whatever who was geared towards, why didn't they watch them? Oh, I love John Wick, Rambo, Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, Jet Li, Jackie, you name it.
In reality instead of in a bubble of activist morons.
This is a historical film, first of its kind.
He might have realized that most couples are not interested in spending their evening watching two middle-aged gay men fuck, and that a guy is more likely to get laid by treating his woman to a screening of the brutal 1979 British film Scum than by watching Bros with her.
What do you want? Ah! Ow! Oh. Turn him over. Ow! Oh. Oh. Please, no!
Honey, this movie isn't exactly what I had in mind for date night. Maybe we should try something else.
Darling, the despot of Antrim has assured me that Scum is one of the great British films of its generation. Try to enjoy the visual symbology and brutalist aesthetic employed by the director, particularly prominent in this scene.
Before I get on to our next item, the Marvels, Bill O'Reilly will be weighing in with his in-depth analysis of the movie in our second episode of Bill O'Reilly Reviews.
Lethal Weapon, old school classic. I love,
Fucking thing sucks! Fuck it! Wake of Ant-Man 3 and countless Disney Plus series that no one watched.
I cannot finish the shows. The only show I've actually been able to watch start to finish is Loki. It's the only one I've enjoyed. All of the other ones I've dropped after like 3 episodes. They're so fucking boring.
The Marvels also confirmed Brie Larson as the worst casting decision in the history of the MCU and was yet another boulder on the back of an already broken career. That said, I unironically liked Brie Larson in Fast X. I have no idea what the function of her character was in the movie, but I do remember her materializing on a bridge, dressed in a bright blue suit and wearing Converse, I think, and carrying a submachine gun. If I recall correctly, she was sent to the bridge by the script because it needed someone.
I did. I watched the first The first season of The Witcher, it was great. I love the first season of Witcher.
To save Vin Diesel from Jason Momoa during a helicopter shootout scene. You know, it's almost sad that Hollywood took a genuinely talented actress who deservedly won an Oscar for her excellent performance in Room and turned her into this.
You guys wouldn't happen to know how these things come off, would you? No? Fine.
I mean, who the fuck looked at her performance in Room?
We call him Old Nick. I don't know what his real name is. But he pretended his dog was... What's the dog's name? Jack, there wasn't a dog.
And thought, you know what she is? An action star.
That's the thing, right? I'm sorry. All these women, right? A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, they're not meant to be action stars. They're not. They're not meant to be, you know, part of the men's, you know, entertainment space.
Take this as a lesson, Hollywood. Some people just aren't cut out for certain roles. I was not intended by the fates to be a shampoo model.
Plus. Sure, I've tried some other 2-in-1s, but for me...
Understatement. It was atrocious. Everything was wrong with the movie. Editing. In one scene, Ms. Marvel shows up in her costume despite being in different clothes seconds before. CGI. The CGI in... Fuck it, just watch this scene of Diversity Hire 8475 being supercharged to go fix a plot hole by creating another plot hole. Fight choreography. In this scene, 8475 is under attack from Tom Hiddleston's wife and the Invisible Man, so Captain Marvel shows up and launches herself straight at the Invisible Man. Actually, I suspect they gender swapped the Invisible Man, so that was probably the Invisible Woman, who is also black and gay.
Reflection of myself, reflection of myself, reflection of myself.
The pacing in the Marvels was horrific. A non-stop, breakneck, nauseating spectacle that only slowed down once to demonstrate how little screen chemistry the three female leads had in a rocky training montage, but with all the charisma, struggle, drama, and awesome music taken out. With the notable exception of Iman Vellani, the actresses on screen looked like they would rather be hanging out in the 8th layer of hell, sharing a peach with Timothée Chalamet and keeping company with Bros, Women Talking, episode 2 of the new season of Doctor Who, Brendan Schaub's stand-up comedy specials, and Jaden Smith's acting career. You're wrong! That kid could not act his way out of a graveyard by pretending to be alive. That is a face for radio and a voice for silent movies. I'm not a coward! There are more plot holes in the Marvels than there is buyer's remorse at a Brendan Schaub.
I refuse to watch that piece of shit. I did not. I did not watch the Marvels. I'm sorry. I'm going to stand to my guns. I don't watch female leads. I don't.
Stand-up special.
She was fighting with me. Fauci, Delta, Mass. What are we going to do?
The power of PMS. Yes, exactly.
See myself, oh my god!
My Marvels video has a 7-minute long section during which I list the movie's plot holes. I don't go into detail on any of them, I just list them and occasionally offer a brief commentary. It took me 7 minutes to get through all the plot holes, and I didn't even get close to covering all of them, as there were many that I missed. I am not suggesting that the Marvels was ever going to be a success. Jaden Smith had a better chance of winning an Oscar for his performance in After Earth than the Marvels did of making money, but the Marvels didn't need to lose as much money as it did, do as much damage to the MCU brand as it did, and be as bad as it was, by flat out ignoring the fact that Nia DaCosta was totally unqualified to co-write
another female behind the scenes of a fucking men's entertainment, right? Stop it. Stop it. I'm sorry. This is why, Laughing Man, right? We were talking about the Avengers. This right here is why I've been so dejected with the Avengers, right? I'm really hoping that it can bring my love back for Marvel, okay? Because Marvel has been, yeah, Marvel died with Stan Lee. I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't disagree. But this is why, right? Shit like this is why I'm like, I'm sorry.
And direct a large-scale Marvel project, Disney turned what should have been a forgettable failure into an absolute fucking catastrophe. But I guess Disney were so enamored with Littlewoods that they just had to have Nia DaCosta.
Closest place for an abortion, she said. Where is it? Hundreds of miles away.
Yes, that's why they hired her. Because of Littlewoods. The next piece of putrid fruit spawned of the DEI demon tree we will be examining is Rings of Power. But before we get on to our brief retrospective of one of the worst chapters ever written in the history of human crime, I want to talk to you about today's sponsor. We here at Team Despot are very excited to announce our new partnership with Amazon Prime. As part of this partnership, Amazon have agreed to debut so pathetic that it might actually have been vaguely pitiful had the failure of the movie not been
No, yeah, I'm gonna still watch the Avengers. I'm gonna wait to see more trailers and see, right? But yeah, I think I'm going to watch the Avengers. Because I'm holding out hope because the Robert Downey, all these all the things they're promising. So I'm holding out hope.
So supremely satisfying. To say Blue Beetle was late to the party is an understatement to rival such assertions as Germany's invasion of Russia didn't go as well as planned. Japan's war against the United States did not produce the intended results. Davis's experience during the greenhouse incident was not entirely pleasant. Brie Larson's career may have been negatively impacted by her failed portrayal of Captain Marvel. After Earth did not give Jaden Smith's acting career the boost the movie was designed to provide him with. You're wrong! Blue Beetle was a guy showing up to a house party at 6 a.m. expecting to get laid. It was a 40-year-old man going to a high school reunion in 2024 wearing skinny jeans, a flannel shirt over a t-shirt and a man bun, hoping to impress his old crush Stacey Anderson, who recently divorced Chad Barlow. Blue Beetle was directed by some fucking guy. It doesn't matter. Is he Latino? Yeah, okay, just hire him. It's a Latino movie, so it has to be a Latino director. Otherwise, this will be a Latinx story being told by someone who isn't Latinx, someone who shouldn't be telling that story because it's not their story. It will be like when Frank Darabont wrote and directed The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, I'm sorry, if Marvel fails me, right? If Marvel fails with Avengers, I'm done. I think I'm done with Marvel.
Even though he's not a former convict and isn't black, despite the movie having a black character. Prior to being selected to direct Blue Beetle, a $125 million project, some fucking guy had directed 3 indie movies, 2 of which don't have a Wikipedia page. He had never directed even a mid-budget project. He had never worked in the superhero genre. He had never directed an action scene. His direction for Blue Beetle, while nowhere near as bad as the obscene levels of incompetence displayed by Nia DaCosta in The Marvels, was utterly flat, lacking in inspiration, originality, flair, and ingenuity.
And that's what I hate, right? They're hiring so many people that don't give a shit about the source material, right? Don't even care, don't even like it. They don't even like the genre or whatever about it. They don't like it. And what's worse, that's already worse, right? That's already terrible. Well, what's worse is that they're not, the producers or whatever, the higher ups, they're not keeping them in check, right? We need this, we need that, right? We need it to be high action. We need da-da-da-da. Right? Keep these things, like, fans need these things to happen. No. What they only care about is checkmark. There needs a black woman. They need to have a minority. They need someone from the alphabet community. There needs to be da-da-da-da-da. It's like, ugh.
And entirely reliant on pre-established genre visuals. The main problem with the movie, though, was the script, which was essentially just an amalgam of characters and dramatic beats plundered from popular superhero movies of the preceding 20 years. The script for the movie could have been, and indeed may well have been, written by AI, but was purportedly assembled by Latino screenwriter. Prior to being hired for Blue Beetle, Latino screenwriter's biggest project was a 2019 movie called Miss Bala, which was a box office bomb, and has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 22%. The only moment of genuine emotional impact in the entire movie was when the Red Lobster tries to help his Latino homeboy through a bout of constipation.
Yo, you can do this, Holmes. Show that shit who's boss. Okay, round 2, man. Come on, show that fucking through the door, hombre.
After Red Lobster helps Blue Beetle give birth to his sidekick, Brown Trout, there's a fight, and Susan Sarandon is there, I think. Then we learn that Red Lobster is only evil because of Ronald Reagan. Now, unfortunately for Red Lobster, trotting out a sob story simply isn't sufficient to get him off the hook, because he's a man, and when a man commits a lifetime of crime and murder, even if it was Ronald Reagan's fault,
that means that it is illegal.
And he must pay the price for it. Now, if he was a woman, this would be no problem. At the end of the Marvels, Dar-Ben is in the process of annihilating all life on Earth, but she gets wounded in her fight with the girl bosses, then says something redemptive, plus she has a sob story, so the girls decide to let bygone genocides be bygone genocides, and give her a pass. They even give the genocidal war bitch a warning when she grabs the second magical bullshit device off Ms. Marvel's arm.
You won't survive this, Dar-Ben.
Because the last thing they want is for a genocidal maniac in the process of wiping out mankind to hurt herself. Recently, in the United States, a woman was given a suspended sentence after being found guilty of trying to murder her husband by poisoning his coffee with bleach over a period of several months. She wanted the life insurance money. Now, what Dar-Ben and Bleach White...
What? I heard that story. She was... What? Sentenced to probation? I know that story. I can't believe that bullshit. Arizona woman accused of trying to kill her husband with poison coffee, sentenced to probation. and then we're saying that women are oppressed, women are the victims. This is why I do the shit I'm doing. I want to speak out against this. I want to speak out against that BS. This BS. A woman trying to kill or trying to kill a man, right? Trying to kill a man is sentenced to probation. Sentenced to probation. And then you're surprised that, you know what? You have women that cry that, okay, men that R-word a woman, gets less sentence. Yeah, our justice system is whack. Our justice system is sucky. Okay? It's not just, oh, men have it easy. Men, there's no punishment. No. Our justice system is absolutely piece of shit. Our justice system is an absolute garbage. Right? It's a dumpster fire. That's our justice system right there. It's a dumpster fire. Bring in AI. I'm sorry. Bring in AI. Right? It's just, this is unbelievable. It's like, I'm seeing these news day after day of criminals who's been let off multiple times. These criminals have a long-ass rap sheet. They've not in prison. They're let out, killed someone, and only to find out that they have, like, a deep history, a deep criminal history. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Why are these people are so dangerous, so, like, destructive and terrible, and we let them out?
Widow have in common is that they are both women, and when a woman tries to eradicate all life on Earth or bleach her husband to death,
that means that it is not illegal.
At the end of Poor Things, spoiler warning for anyone who is saving a viewing of Poor Things for a particularly masochistic day of penance, Emma Stone shoots her ex-husband in the foot when he tries to kill her. She then takes his body to her surgery and, with the help of her simp, removes her ex-husband's brain, then replaces his brain with the brain of a goat. Then we cut to a happy scene of Emma Stone and her friends good timing it while the ex-husband eats grass in a corner of the garden. Wait, hold on. Emma Stone murders her ex-husband, murders a goat, puts the goat's disembodied brain into the disembodied corpse of her husband, creating an obscenity that can really only be described as a torture toy, a cursed abomination that will live a short, miserable life as it tries in vain to feed its human body with food that body cannot process, resulting in a protracted, agonizing death. And the audience is supposed to view this as a happy ending? And even if feminism has demented your moral compass to the point that you agree with the filmmakers that this is indeed a happy ending because the evil, white, patriarchal, empire-building, FGM-inflicting man got what he had coming to him, what the fuck did the goat do? Why has this poor creature been condemned to an agonized death, trapped inside a dead man's corpse? The word sadism doesn't even begin to describe the vileness of the atrocity Emma Stone has committed here, because even the Marquis de Sade could never, had he lived...
Wonder if she tried it again, they would let her out. They probably would. I'm pretty sure if a woman, right, if that woman even tries to kill another man, she'll probably leave him out. They'd probably let her out. Yeah.
To enjoy 120 years of Sodom, never have imagined an act that sank to this level of moral depravity. And judging by the cushy spot Emma Stone has set herself up in to enjoy the spectacle of the goat man's tortuous death, she has birthed this horror not out of a misplaced sense of justice, but rather for the sheer pleasure of it. She is a murderous, animal-torturing, psychotic demoness, and we, the audience, are expected, by our Hollywood betters, to root for this despicable bitch's bastard. Because when a woman murders her husband and desecrates his corpse by implanting a goat brain in it, creating a consciousness that will suffer horribly as it dies in unimaginable pain,
that means that it is not illegal.
By the way, Eldred Martef was in Poor Things. He demonstrated about as much charisma and presence in the movie as he did at the Golden Globes.
I actually wanted to hurt you. Couldn't bear to see such dumb, accept the lie of religion, socialism, capitalism. Why do you state what you don't know the world? And you fear it.
Here is a list of superhero movie tropes that featured in Blue Beetle. Karen iPhone, hit that shit. We'll start with macro tropes. Claiming an identity first makes the movie new and fresh. This is the first time we have had a Latino superhero and a Latino-led superhero movie. It's new. The fact that the movie is an amalgam of played-out superhero tropes is irrelevant. Blue Beetle is original because tacos. Claiming an identity first that isn't actually an identity first. Blue Beetle is the first ever Latino superhero, except for Sue Storm, who was played by Mexican-American Jessica Alba, X-23 from Logan, who was Mexican, America Chavez, Namor from Wakanda Forever, played by Mexican Tena Huerta, and Ajak from from The Eternals, played by Salma Hayek, who is Mexican as a tequila taco at a cartel-run bullfight. Well, break out the Timothy Chalamet brand peaches and get ready to do to your Kleenex what the Greenhouse Gang did to Davis Boys, because the mere mention of Salma Hayek has given me the excuse I wanted to play this clip.
What's the Adventure Zone days? Adventure. Oh, Avenger. Man, Laughing Man. You're whatchamacallit, you're like your spell checker is going crazy. Avengers Day, Avengers Doomsday.
Our final macro trope: bullshit excuses when your garbage movie flops. The sole original idea that came out of the entire Blue Beetle debacle was the excuse Warner gave for the failure of this heap of shite, so large that an army of beetles would be unable to shift it. The weather did it. Now, the on-screen tropes. A hero goes to a desolate area to find a magical bullshit device, often called the artifact.
It's in there. I can feel it. It's in there.
It's all good, my brother. I gotta read between the lines. I gotta figure out I gotta decrypt what you're saying.
I can feel it.
Found mech suit.
What the hell is that?
And I formula. I just checked, and all 12 songs on Is This It use the you and I formula, though on a few songs the singer uses a clumsy mix of first, second, and third person. Fucking terrible.
Come here.
As an indigenous person, like, you guys.
You have no doubt forgotten Echo, but I have not. I was there when it released in January of 2024.
I was there 3,000 years ago.
Echo was like a parody of DEI. Okay, I was about to write, if South Park had made a parody of DEI, they wouldn't be able to come up with anything as farcical as Echo. But as I started writing that sentence, I realized South Park did do a parody episode of DEI, the excellent Into the Panderverse, and indeed, it didn't contain anything as farcical as Echo. It featured a race-swapped cast, a gender-bent character of ambiguous sexual anatomy, an all-female police department, and a Cartman-shaped Kathleen Kennedy from a parallel universe. None of that comes close to the sheer fucking farce that was Echo. A female Native American deaf amputee martial artist girl boss whose vaguely defined superpower is the ability to channel the superpowers of her girl boss ancestors. According to the modern rules of acting, actors are not allowed to play roles outside of their identity group because that would just be too much acting. So when Disney sent out the casting call for Amaya, they had to cast the only person who responded. Alakwa Cox had no acting experience and, unsurprisingly for a woman with one leg, no martial arts experience. The resulting fight choreography... The fight choreography was so hilariously terrible, it left the viewer with the impression that the only people on the planet even capable of losing a fight against Maya were Rosario Dawson and CM Punk.
Here we go!
The only good thing to emerge from the Echo catastrophe was that Alakwa Cox got a decent paycheck. The girl might not have been dealt quite as bad a hand in life as Brendan Schaub, since she does at least have a double-digit IQ, but no one can accuse her of having won the life lottery. The world is a dark place. It is a world of Eldwood Marteffs, Joe Coys, and Brendan Schaubs, men whose stand-up makes the brick wall behind them look like Dave Chappelle by comparison. It's a world of Jaden Smiths, Lily Rose Depps, and Ewan McGregor's daughter, talentless Napo babies who have a career handed to them on a silver platter alongside their lifelong get out of work. Her performance was described by The Guardian as toe-curlingly terrible. The entertainment industry is a putrefying swamp of injustice. In 2019, Amazon paid Phoebe Waller-Bridge $60 million to do fuck all for 6 years because of her success with Fleabag. Now, I haven't seen Fleabag myself, and hell will be celebrating their resounding victory in the Winter Olympics the day I do, but I hear it's good for what it is. It was a well-received, commercially successful show. If a man had made Fleabag, he'd be given some credit and enough clout to get another project going fairly easily. But Phoebe Waller-Bridge was a woman in 2019, so instead of another slightly higher budget project, she got $60 million to do nothing for, what's it been now, Jennifer Salke? Head of Amazon Studios, former head of diversity initiatives at NBC, forger of Rings of Power, almost 6.
More women behind the scenes. More fucking women behind the scenes. Trying to promote other women. And then goes nowhere.
years now. Not a great deal, though it is at least a far better deal than paying Brendan Schaub any amount of money to make it. Amazon started production on their billion-dollar disaster, Rings of Power. Meanwhile, they paid Alakwa Cox minimum wage to work in one of their warehouses. Seeing a disabled girl who was working in an Amazon warehouse catch a fucking break and get a well-paid gig playing a diversity hire in some piece of Disney Marvel shite was genuinely uplifting. After being cast as Echo, Alakwa said the following in an interview.
I don't know why they're giving me this opportunity, but I'm just grateful. I'm just so grateful for all of the opportunities I've been given.
Fair play.
She doesn't even know why they're giving her this opportunity.
To Alakwa for getting herself out of that crap job and for her positive attitude. She seems like a genuinely lovely person. Alakwa Cox was absolutely fucking dreadful as Echo. Even viewers who were aware that she was an inexperienced actress criticized her for her flat, lifeless performance as Maya that she clearly didn't put much effort into. Echo was a painfully slow, boring show that took 5 episodes to go nowhere and do almost nothing. The only relief to be scraped from the bottom of this barrel of sewage was Vincent D'Onofrio. He had lost none of his charisma or presence as Kingpin from the Daredevil days. He carried...
I agree. This video clearly shows the result of feminism. I've said this before. I believe feminism is the root of all evil, right? The root of all evil. The feminism pretty much pushed DEI. Feminism pushed all these craps.
Every scene he was in with all the heroic effort of Joe Rogan.
But guess what, right? Women, particularly white women, benefit the most from DEI.
Carrying Brendan Schaub in one of their many podcast episodes. But the writing and dialogue was so terrible, Vincent D'Onofrio had so little to work with, that watching him try to salvage something from this ruin of a show was like watching Brendan Schaub try to get up after being KTFO'd by Roy Nelson. Big Boy Roy hit Schaub so hard with that shot that Schaub woke up with an IQ of 9, making it the first ever instance of brain damage resulting in an improvement in IQ. The only actors on the Echo production working as hard as Vincent D'Onofrio were the stuntmen throwing themselves through the air in a futile attempt to make Alakwa Cox look even remotely threatening. Echo wasn't just bad, it was embarrassing.
Oh my sweet sugar-free Colombian vanilla fudge overpriced almond milk gender-neutral net zero fair trades, soy frappe.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. Yeah.
Wow, just wow. Tell me you're an ableist without American, non-hearing blinded. The problem with Echo wasn't the fact that it was an inspiring diversity showcase, it's that the writing wasn't up to standard with the incredible on-screen diversity. Many great characters in movies and shows have been differently abled, including differently abled characters are here to stay, and as a white person in the 50s, incel. Get a life you hopeless fucking chud. Marginalized people being able to see themselves represented in important cultural spaces such as Echo is literally everything. Mr. Reflection said it best.
For marginalized people, a lot of energy is devoted to justifying your existence in spaces. So when
Fuck you!
I'm sorry, right? I believe this, right? I've said this before. I grew up during the 80s and 90s. I never cared. I never desired to see an Asian person on screen. Now, I loved it when I saw Jackie Chan, Jet Li and stuff, but again, I loved just as much seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stallone, all these other action heroes on screen. I didn't give a shit that these men were white. I didn't give a shit. I didn't care. It didn't make the movies better, right? That's the problem. If you want to have, like, let's say a black actor, an Asian actor, whatever, fine. Does it make the movie better? Does it? That's all I care. If it doesn't, then it doesn't matter, right? Does this actor make the movie better? If it doesn't mean nothing to me. I don't feel like, oh my God, this shitty ass movie has an Asian person in it. Oh, I feel so much better. Fuck that shit.
Fuck you, get the
Oscarless hack! You're banned from the channel for one video, now get out!
I don't see you as a bad guy. I never have. I respect you.
I don't care, Carrie. You're still banned. Perhaps your recent exile did you some good. Echo didn't have
big bars. What is up, my brother?
To be terrible. Disney Marvel had everything they needed to make a compelling show. A protagonist with significant obstacles to overcome, a great villain in Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, and a grounded setting with localized problems and relatable stakes. For once, the fucking multiverse wasn't in danger of imploding. The problem wasn't the box ticking on camera, it was the appalling writing that completely squandered the potential of the premise. Rather than treating Maya's amputation as a handicap that hindered her, and which she would have to work around, the writer...
No. He was amazing. He was an amazing villain, right? Amazing villain, but I prefer with the Van Damme, right? Bloodsport was an amazing ass movie. Bloodsport,
basically just ignored it. At one point, she breaks her prosthetic and immediately gets it fixed. That's it. That's the only reference to her missing half her leg ever being a problem for her. Other than that, she kicks ass, beats up brawny thugs twice her size, jumps from a moving train onto a pickup truck, and girl bosses her way out of bad situations. If she needs something, the script provides her with it through a local ally. Not once in the entire show does she suffer the consequences of her reckless actions or go through any real struggle. Kingpin had no agency in the series. Not only does he not kill Maya following her attempted assassination of him, he simps after Maya for reasons that are never made clear. He behaves like a complete moron, letting Maya run rampage even after it becomes clear that she is an existential threat to him and his operation. The potential for scaled down stakes were never taken advantage of because Kingpin's motivations and goals never got beyond he wants Maya as a kind of stepdaughter for inexplicable reasons. If Maya had failed to take down Kingpin, the only consequence would have been her death, which would have been quite welcome. I have no desire to see a former professional murderess go on living, a former professional murderess who blew up a warehouse full of... Next up, She-Hulk. Even though it was released not 2 years ago, She-Hulk is today remembered...
yeah, I refuse to watch She-Hulk. I'm sorry. I did not watch that garbage when it came out.
For only two reasons. The first, a scene of She-Hulk twerking with some rapper. This scene has come to represent the lows to which Marvel sank during Phase 4. The second reason is the horrendous CGI. She-Hulk's CGI stands as a kind of monstrous green testament to the forsaken depths to which CGI plunged as a result of the massive oversaturation of superhero content at the time, which strained FX companies far beyond breaking point. Other than that, She-Hulk has essentially disappeared from cultural memory. Just another $250 million capital ship sent to the bottom during the Great Culture War. A great bloated Hulk that blundered into enemy territory, fired off a few clumsy shots, then was shot to shreds under the wilting fire of a million small arms, fired off by an army of commenters, reviewers, YouTubers, and eventually even the mainstream press. Today, She-Hulk's ruin can still be seen on the abandoned salt flats of Disney+. The final reported production budget of She-Hulk was $225 million, and She-Hulk was not Echo, a carcass of a show that Disney tried to bury in the January content swamp, hoping to God no one would notice. She-Hulk was a flagship product. Disney didn't make public how much they spent on marketing this disaster, but it was probably well over $100 million. The show was a miserable flop. It received a Metacritic audience rating of 2.7 out of 10 and was widely regarded as the worst Marvel project until The Marvels was released the next year. The She-Hulk creative team setup adhered to the principles of identity hiring. She-Hulk was She-Hulk, a female superhero, so the creatives all had...
all women. All women. Probably not a single woman that even likes comic books, that even likes men entertainment. I guarantee you, not a single woman, right, in that group, in this whole picture, right, in this whole whatever, even cares about men's entertainment, right? That even watches men's shit. I guarantee you. Amazing. Fucking amazing.
To be female. It had an all-female writing team, a female director, and the entire project was led by executive producer Jessica Gao.
Kick women out. I'm sorry. They could be singers, right? Women can be singers. Women can be all these other shit. Just stay out of men's entertainment. You suck. You suck. I have yet to be proven wrong, right? I've yet to see something of quality, right? Maybe that one rare thing, but not consistently, right? I've yet to see something consistently of quality when it includes a whole bunch of women.
Wrote 3 of She-Hulk's 9 episodes herself. Episode 1.
When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me.
Episode 2.
I am totally qualified, but now everyone around here is always going to think this is the only reason I got the job. It's so unfair.
And the finale, episode 9.
Yeah, come at me, bro!
Rather than attempt to write a good show that viewers would enjoy, She-Hulk's writing team disappeared up their own arse and decided to make a super clever meta show that would own the chuds in the culture war by being a showcase for modern corporate feminism.
You know, you've seen this show, so you know that baked into it is the idea that we're going to come under fire, no matter what. To me, it's exciting. It's engagement. You know, if people are saying bad things, they're still paying attention.
The little troll that lives inside of me was utterly delighted that we were able to troll the trolls.
That's what I hate. Okay. So you want to troll the trolls. Okay. Instead of making good quality content geared towards a particular audience, instead of making quality content geared towards a particular audience, you want to alienate that said audience. instead. Makes sense. The audience that your content is made for, particularly made for, you want to alienate them. You want to troll them. Makes fucking sense. I'm sorry. Women do not watch this shit. Okay? I'm surprised that there's 30% of women watching it. I'm surprised. I am. But still, 30% is not even half. 30% isn't even half. And yet you gear this shit to who? Who is all this shit geared towards? Right? Who's all the woke shit, the DEI shit, the feminist shit geared towards? Because women aren't even watching this. People from the alphabet community is not even watching this. So you can't even you can't even bring new audience into this bullshit, right? Democrats, yes, right? It is. This woke shit, this progressive stuff, take it out of my entertainment. Take it out of my entertainment.
And the writers would impress everyone with how meta and self-aware their show was.
Oh, and Bruce swooping down from literal outer space to save the day in my story?
That style of 2010's fourth wall breaking millennial humor, perfected by Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool, had worn paper thin by the early 20s, and when She-Hulk came out containing jokes like this,
The defendant's client list be rejected, as it's not relevant to the litigation.
Who's this asshole?
it just felt dated, desperate, and cheesy, like a drunken uncle at a wedding pulling moves that went out of style 20 years ago to prove to the kids that he's still got it. Fourth wall breaking meta humor gasped out its last suffocated breaths a few months later with the release of Velma. When Velma Season 2 released earlier this year to an audience of a few YouTubers trying to content farm, the fourth wall breaks felt like something from a bygone era. It wasn't cheesy or cringe anymore, it was just pathetic. It was like a hair metal band in the mid-90s releasing yet another arena rock album with big drums, big guitars, big hair, and a personality shot album cover of aging rockers who refuse to let go of the past and move on, and showing up Season 1. Velma Season 2 was so dated, boring, limp-dicked, and unwatched that it was almost kind of sad. It was like watching a bully from last school year who squared up to the wrong guy and got the shite kicked out of him, come back after summer break a broken, weak, timid, and pathetic wee wimp, and you almost feel sorry for him until you remember what an absolute wanker he was to everyone. Michelle Gao's overriding concern with She-Hulk was entirely identity politics driven. Make the women look great and the men look dumb.
Yeah, come at me, bro!
Velma is She-Hulk's spirit sister. Both shows were released around the same time. Both had the explicitly stated goal of taking a DEI wrecking ball to a beloved franchise. Both masqueraded as a comedy by utilizing turgid, worn-out fourth-wall meta-humor. Both were led by spiteful feminists eager to inflict as much misery on the male-dominated fan base as womanly possible. Both
Feminist BS. Feminist BS right there, right? Like, and you can see this, right? Critics, like critic scores, fan scores. People that were bought, people that are telling the truth. Take women out of men's content. I'm sorry. Women don't care. Women don't care about this shit. Women don't really, I'm talking about in general, I'm talking about the majority of women. They don't care about action movies. They don't care about Marvel movies, comic book movies. They don't give a shit about these things. Women in general don't care. Now, of course, there's plenty of, geeky women, plenty of, whatever women, but I'm sorry, they're not the majority. Plus, the content that men were making, women liked that anyway. Those women, they liked it.
Were widely despised, and both were total failures. A DEI project is like a skag binge. It's great fun at the time, but there's a massive price to be paid for it afterward. When the activist showrunner is high out of her mind on virtue signaling, identity politics, and chud scolding, she thinks she's got it going on. She's the center of the party, the main character in a world of NPCs, the focal point of the cultural conversation, the face on the front cover of the internet. But when her project inevitably fails and she loses her supply of skag, the high wears off and the come down starts. Here's an old example of an actress high out of her mind on identity skag.
I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him.
Yeah, it was fun at the time, wasn't it, Brie? But
it wasn't made for him. This is how a lot of those people are, right? It wasn't made for me. It wasn't made for them. It wasn't made for them. Okay, cool. But when your shit fails, you're like, oh, it's the white man's fault, right? It's men's fault. It's straight men's fault. It's all these incels' fault. How is it their fault? It wasn't made for them, right? Why wasn't the audience that it was geared towards, why didn't they come out and watch it? Why? Yeah.
Not so fun now that you're a middle-aged has-been with a burned-out husk of a career and no fan base. And I don't hold anything against Brie Larson. She was clearly given awful advice by the sycophantic hangers-on that surrounded her at the time, and in the years since, she has quieted down and no longer engages in such grandiose wankery, and she is a good actress. In Room. She was great in Room. She was terrible as Captain Marvel. That was Marvel's worst ever casting choice by far. But there's no denying that her career has cratered. For all her activism and dedication to the cause, Hollywood have left her high and dry. They don't give a fuck about her. They don't care that she's an Oscar winner. They know she's unpopular and they won't put her in big projects anymore. What, did you think you would be rewarded by the establishment for your bitter rants and angry feminist interviews?
So you don't do...
I do all my stunts.
I did my stunts because I thought that that's what everyone did. And then...
Tom Cruise over here?
No, I'll be the first me, not the next Tom Cruise. Thank you very much.
Wow.
No. It's Hollywood, and you're a pawn. You will be sacrificed in the ongoing culture war, and there's a line of girls the length of Brendan Schaub's dick waiting in line to suck the diseased cock of some lecherous Hollywood executive and take your place. And let's check in on She-Hulk's lead actress, Tatiana Maslany. Since She-Hulk, she has done some voice acting work on 3 no-name animated productions, but hasn't landed any significant roles. During the She-Hulk Identity Skag binge, Maslany said the following.
It's so true. There's so much resistance to a woman just existing in that space of superheroes.
When asked about the negative response to She-Hulk by the toxic male fandom, Maslany responded,
I sort of anticipated it. It's why I also feel it's important. There's such an entitlement to space held by certain people, and to even exist as She-Hulk is like a fuck you, and I love that.
Maslany was fully...
Entitlement. I'm sorry, okay? What the fuck are you doing? It is... I don't understand these people. I don't understand the motivation, right? I really don't understand the motivation. Like, women need to enter these spaces, or you need to make these spaces more inclusive. All these, why? Why? I don't understand. What's the point? What's the point? Okay, because again, women entering the spaces. Okay, cool. And it fails, now what? So what was the point? What was the point? Right? I think maybe this would have been a 1,000 times better if you had male writers, male directors, right? At least that. Men in dresses would have been better. It was like, seriously.
On board with the feminist wrecking ball approach to She-Hulk, and when the failed show was shit-canned by Marvel, she was out of work, and has remained out of work. During the Madam Web shit show, Sydney Sweeney proved that an actress can actually increase her popularity on the back of a failed project if she plays her cards right.
You might have seen me in Anyone But You or Euphoria. You definitely did not see me in Madam Web.
Sydney Sweeney didn't attack fans, she didn't call men sexist for not showing up to her movie, or trot out the identity politics buzzwords like space, entitlement, and certain people. She just cracked a nice smile, got her tits out, told a few jokes, and...
I am definitely supporting Sydney Sweeney. I mean, like, she's like, the couple things I've seen her in, I love her attitude.
Laughed off Madam Web's well-deserved failure. Nice. Maslany had her chance to build her popularity and earn the goodwill of the fans during the She-Hulk debacle, and she fucking blew it, opting instead to get in on the identity politics binge and raise a middle finger to anyone who didn't give her a big pat on the back for it, and now she can't get work. Cry me a fucking river. In another tragic tale of a...
Guys, please like the stream, it helps me out, right? Please like the stream, it helps me out.
Great talent torn away from our screens by fate in January 2024 in an announcement.
And I gotta say, right, it's not like I don't think women aren't amazing. They are. Okay, they are. But my problem is, like, these are male entertainment, right? These spaces are, meant for men, right? It's geared towards men. That's the thing. It's geared towards men. I just don't understand why you change the ideology of it. To not gear towards men, to be an FU towards men. I really don't understand it.
Mourned by approximately as many people as there are Oscars in Carey Mulligan's Oscar cabinet, Brendan Schaub announced that he is quitting stand-up comedy. So, yeah.
Rudy, thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Thank you.
Sorry guys, but see Brendan Schaub live is gonna have to come off the bucket list, but you can always jump into a barrel of radioactive waste. Here's a clip of activists on the identity politics binge du jour.
I want to ask you both because this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think by a considerable margin. And are you excited about that?
Great. The gayest Star Wars ever. Yeah, that's what the fans love. That's what the fans love. Gay Star Wars. Yeah. Again, who the fuck are you gearing this shit to? Who are you gearing this shit to? Please tell me. You think you think the gay population is watching Star Wars like that?
It's pretty
Because nerds are gay.
Well, well, some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened by gay
Well, that's
stuff.
true. But
Yeah.
in my world, nerds are
I
gay.
think that Star Wars is so gay already.
How gay this is.
The last DEI project I'm going to briefly touch on is the most recent incarnation of a zombified corpse of a franchise that refuses to do us all a favor and lay down in its grave where it belongs. Star Wars. The project in question is, of course, The Acolyte. The Acolyte has been a gift for content creators. YouTube is currently awash with videos about the show. It has generated a vast quantity of ad revenue for many YouTubers across the content spectrum. The Acolyte is the most generous gift since Davis was given enough pounds to buy a small mansion. The series is terrible, obviously. The dialogue, acting, pacing, and editing are all dreadful. As of the writing of this script, the first 3 episodes have been released. I will be doing a review of The Acolyte, but it will be a full...
Oh, this must be an older video. Oh, it's a year ago. Yeah, The Acolyte is a piece of shit.
Season review. For now, I am content merely to observe while the great mass of YouTube content creators do to The Acolyte what the Greenhouse Gang did to Davis. Rather than blow my load on what is admittedly a tempting target in the first 3 episodes, I am content merely to wait and watch until the season climax before I thrust myself upon it. What I will say is that Kathleen Kennedy has once again proven that she is both the worst Hollywood executive of all time and the worst perpetrator of DEI-focused projects to date. The Acolyte is under the dictatorial control of an identity politics-obsessed moron, and her show, far from being the bold, subversive statement she no doubt imagines, is exactly what we all expected. Strong, powerful black female not evil twin will turn out to be fully justified in her murder of 4 Jedi, and whoever else got in her way because she no doubt has a tragic backstory, and when a woman with a tragic backstory goes on a murder spree, or commits serial genocide, or murders a goat, or tries to bleach her husband to death...
That means that it is not illegal.
Yord is a man, so his function is to be constantly torn down and upstaged by the female characters around him.
Then we bring him back to the ship for questioning.
Oh, we skip that, and she just talks to him.
Padawanker is an annoying wee bitch who never misses an opportunity to humiliate Yord and put him in his place.
Yord, put your clothes on.
Trinity was in the show for a bit, but she's dead because in a bold, stunning, brilliant, and highly original move, Leslie Squareheadland...
Justin, thank you for stopping by, my brother. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the support. I love you, my brother.
...killed her off in the opening scene. Wow, fronting a production with a well-known actress in the marketing of a project, then killing that actress off in the opening scene. How subversive and original. That was never done before, almost 30 years ago, in Scream, with Drew Barrymore. The rest of the cast is rounded out by merchandise placement, strong, powerful black female good twin, Master Jedi Jungjae, or Triple J, Karen Green from HR, who is played by Leslie Squareheadland's wife, and could not act her way through her own front door by pretending to be Leslie Headland's wife. And the big bad is Kylo Rentboy, who always wears a gimp mask and will probably turn out to be a woman, in which case we'll have to rename her Kyla Rentboy. I'm guessing Kylo Rentboy is...
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's check out some other stuff. Let's check out some other stuff.
This is a Big Tech Network exclusive.
Open up their eyes, you know what I mean?
Okay, so this is like I don't know who this guy is, right? It's called Big Banks. Guess he's a YouTuber or whatever. I know this is 6ix9ine, right? I saw a bunch of clips of this on TikTok. I wanted to check it out. I thought it was interesting. That looks pretty badass. Let's check it out. I don't know if this is gonna be good or not. I'm just watching some YouTube videos I have saved, so.
Facts or your perspective? Which one is it?
Nah, it's facts because.
Are they your facts or facts? First off, we're gonna get right into it. Why you wake up with on your mind? That's what I want to know.
So, I got this. So,
why do you wake up with guys on your mind?
When I wake up, right? I don't wake up with on my mind. I wake up me responding to right? I'm from New York. I feel like a lot of rappers, they wake up and mention 6ix9ine, they not from New York. When Meek Mill mentioned me, right? When Meek Mill mentioned me, he not from New York. When Lil Durk mentioned me, he not from New York. When King Von mentioned me, he not from New York. When 21 Savage mentioned me, he not from New York. Why do they got an opinion on my life, my case, not being from New York or having anything to do with my case? You know what I mean?
In the same rap shit though.
Yeah. So I'm not in the same rap shit, so they can and I can't. You get it? So it's not like me waking up.
Ah, see, the hypocrisy. So why I wanted to check this out is because 6ix9ine was schooling this guy, right? Showing his hypocrisy. Showing, to be honest, showing the hypocrisy of the black community, okay? In general, right? This guy has the mentality, oh, why do you have, why do you have the, these guys on your mind? Oh, it's like, because these guys were talking about me, right? How come these guys could talk about me, but I can't talk about them? Oh, because you guys are in the same rap shit. So doesn't that answer your first question, right? Doesn't that answer your first question? You're kind of stupid then.
And saying why I'm waking up with on my mind, they mentioned me first. So like, I got the right to defend myself, or is it only like a one-sided thing? You get it?
Yeah.
I'm not here to like.
But you be overdoing it with the antics and shit. I feel like if you say what you say, respond, you just overdo it to me. You don't keep it a break.
So what? That's not. Who are you to tell someone else they're overdoing it?
Would you just overdo it?
All right, so there's rules to like levels now. Like, you know what I mean? Once you mention someone, you can't control the consequences of that, right? Because every action has a reaction, right? Right now, if we jump in the pool right now, right? That action causes us to what? Get wet, right or wrong?
Okay, yeah.
So every action has a reaction. So I'm just reacting to these mentioning me. Let's.
I mean, I like, again, the few clips I saw about this on TikTok, I'm kind of surprised. I don't listen to 6ix9ine's music because I think it's shit. But the guy was pretty intelligent in the clips I saw about him. So.
Like this. Remember when I made this on,
and he's already saying like pretty intelligent shit.
This on your platform right here, right?
You want to start off with my partner?
I just want to start off. Let's start off with the truth. This interview came out before I even responded.
Do you torture us with this? Why, dude? Harley knows how to read. Why is a pause every time he talks? I know he does. I mean, again, I'm not saying that he's actually intelligent, but I mean, he's not like as stupid as I thought he is, right? He's not as stupid as I thought he is. I'm not saying that he's, actually intelligent, but he's not as stupid as I thought he is.
Am I right or wrong?
I don't know. I don't keep up with it.
So this interview came out 4 months ago. I would say, right? So I never mentioned 21 Savage, but this is what you got to say on the Big Bang Show.
You say you get it to this now. I think you stop now because you can't go. And I'm asking what you mean you just stop?
Look at all that extra right there that you doing.
Now watch this. He said, the nigga wearing lace fronts, the Mexican, right? I'm the Mexican, I'm the nigga with the lace front. He said ain't no more gas in the car. Which car? This car? Ain't no gas in this car, ain't no more money like that? Yo, Bank, you in my crib right now. This is my house. Getting money where? Ain't no more money, and I see you said, I think he just stopped. I just stopped because
I mean, he probably does have street smarts, right?
It's so much facade in this game, bro. Like we gotta.
Do you feel like you add anything to that though? To the facade that's in the game?
No, because first of all, you got a person over here talking about, he's the facade. The nigga not even from here.
That don't mean shit.
Oh, it don't mean shit?
That don't mean shit where you
So
from.
he didn't grow up here?
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't?
Yes, he did.
So when did he come here?
As a kid, a real kid.
As a kid?
Like 9 years old. That's
All right,
growing up.
so how is 21 Savage in the United States right now?
What do you mean?
How's he here?
I don't know. What do you mean?
How is he in the United States not being here? How?
How you here? Where you from?
I was born in New York City.
Where your people from? Some of your people still here though.
Yeah, my people here.
All right, where they from?
But I was born here.
I'm saying where your people were that
We talking about
one
me and
born
21
here.
Savage.
Okay. Well, what's your point?
He's not from here. He's the facade.
That don't make you no facade because you're not from America.
All right, so watch this, right? Let's just go to the facts, right? Let's just go to the facts.
But what's this gonna prove though? Like what's this gonna prove? That's what I'm saying. Like what is this gonna prove though? What you saying?
I'm gonna show you, right? So let's zoom this in right here. And this for your people to see, right? Does 21 Savage have a U visa? How is he in the United States right now? Right? 21 Savage is here off a U visa. You know what's a U visa? This is the definition of a U visa. As of October 2023, 21 Savage, Shia bin Abraham Joseph, is a lawful permanent resident of the United States, successfully resolving his long-standing immigration saga. While he reportedly filed for a U visa, what the f is a U visa? While he reportedly filed for a U visa in 2017 following a 2013 shooting incident. His legal status was ultimately adjusted to permanent resident after years of deportation proceedings. What is a U visa? Let's see what a U visa is.
Bro, you...
No. Hold on. No, let's just see what a U visa is. What is a U visa? A U visa is a U.S. immigration benefit for non-citizen victims. Keyword, victims.
See, man, bro,
Hold on,
calm down, bro.
Hold on. Immigration for a non-citizen victim of a certain crimes who have suffered substantial mental or physical abuse and are helpful to law enforcement in investigation or prosecution of that criminal activity. This is a fact, though.
But what they got to do with anything, though? I'm saying, what are you saying? What's the point, though? What's the point you should make? You saying he was a victim?
I mean,
a lot of people be victims, though. If you get shot, that's a victim.
Okay.
When they get shot, being in the street, that's a victim. What are you talking about?
All right, cool. You can only get a U visa, right? This is the definition. Let's slow it down, Bing. I know it's caught up. Sometimes the truth is just too much.
Bro, what I'm saying, they should say it. A U visa benefits from non-citizen victims who have suffered from certain crimes.
Okay,
basically,
now,
right?
don't finish there. This is the key word right here. Read that slowly for me. Now, read it out loud. Let people...
physical abuse or
physical abuse, mental or physical abuse, and are helpful to law enforcement in the investigation of... What, you gonna ignore that? That's what you got right now. You know that?
What that mean, though?
What that mean?
Bank, 21 Savage got a U
Man
visa.
is an idiot.
That means he was a victim in a crime. This is... Yo, Bank, this is like, this is what I'm trying to say. So when you come at me calling me the Mexican, the lace front, now shut it down, yo, homie, every action has a reaction, right? So now you're gonna make me
that
dick.
Really don't mean shit, though.
That don't mean nothing?
That don't mean shit.
So
that's the only way, you saying that's the only way you can get a visa?
Yeah, look, let's go down here, right? Because let's look down here.
Like, you can't talk about these. Bro, I'm trying to ask you a question.
Nah, but I know, Bank, but listen to me. I know it's hard to believe. I know it's like tough. I know it's like, damn, like, I don't want now looking into this shit. 21 Savage here on a U visa. That means he was a victim of a crime.
Really? I didn't know that.
Look, I'm not making this up.
I'm saying, you don't say this.
I heard that he had money problem, right? I heard that he did have money problems. So I heard that he was going broke, but I guess whatever. I mean, yeah, I guess he had money problems. I figured it was tax evasions.
So now he mentioned me first on your podcast. Yeah. He said, yo, the Mexican, the rat, the guy wear lace fronts. Ain't no more gas in that tank. This is a 2026 0-mile Revolto. This is my crib. What you mean? I just stopped because y'all is not like that. They not.
You think you like that though? I'm asking.
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Because I'm the only nigga that did what I did, right? Sat on that stand and came out and wore it. I came out and said...
Is you really wearing it though? Or is you doing things... I'm saying, is you really wearing it though?
Bank. You don't think I'm wearing it? You ain't see me in that gym? You see me in that gym get jumped, right? I'm walking around with security and shit. Would that happen? I'm wearing it. I'm outside. You just see me perform at the club. Vlad was just here. I know you seen the Vlad interview. I just took the guy strip club. I'm not... These security guys, here's my birthday, they got a gender reveal. How many people you seen here working?
Yeah.
So over 100 people here, 200 people. Bang, I wore it. I'm realer than these days. And mind you,
So that's your point. You realer than.
Yeah, you know
That's
why?
your point.
You know why I'm realer than them? Let's get more into it, Bang. Bang, this is just the truth, bro. Like, this is just the truth. So look, let's get more into it. We on 21 Savage right now, right? So watch this.
Bro, I ain't just trying to see. I'm just
Listen,
trying to have a conversation.
I know, Bang, but this gotta be said. This gotta be said. So
You just want to have a conversation, but the guy's trying to prove him wrong.
they had opinions on me, Bang, right? Bang, they try to take, you know why you say, yo, why you wake up and do this? They try to take food out of my family's mouth, right? If we got investors, right, Bang? Just say me and you in business, right? We part of the big bank. Me and you part of the big bank organization. We got $1 billion investors, right? And you say, yo, man, you tell investors, yo, man, I think we gotta cut 9 out. And the investors say, yo, Bang, what you mean? Why we gotta cut 9 out? Yo, nigga, right? And the investors like, they look up so much to you. You got a following. You got a fan base, Bang.
Yeah, you know what? I think I've been seeing 6ix9ine trying to stream. That's always the thing.
So you know what the mass is, or the people who listen to you say, yo, if Bank say don't fuck with them, I ain't fuck with them. So that's why I care, bro. They taking food out my family's mouth.
But on some
you
G
see
shit,
how? Hold on.
On some G shit, let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
On some G shit, I feel like when you came home, you were saying that shit 100%.
Yeah.
You got back out there. You got back putting out records and all that shit, right? You got back to it, basically. Right? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
You started all this extra shit and detoured your back.
But
People were
explain-
fucking with
but
you. They were making excuses for you too.
There's not excuses.
I'm saying they was making excuses like what he supposed to did. Somebody did something to his kids and all that shit. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
People say it was 50-50.
Okay.
You start trying to troll with
Troll and they don't respond. That's what I'm saying. What I'm doing right now is talking facts or trolling. I'm just stating the facts. Look, hear what he say. Just hear so you can understand my point of view.
I was just checking out this video. I'll probably watch it on my own. Probably not as entertaining. We'll check out some other stuff. Let's check out some other stuff.
I think they need to assess the landscape on whom they dealing with.
And they said, you know, yes, we know that men and women are wired differently, but women, like men, don't get enough credit for the discipline that it takes for them to stay on the straight and narrow and make sure that they are solely, faithful. Like, even though we're wired that way, it's like as soon as they slip up, then it's like, oh, well, you know, they ain't shit, whatever. But I actually sat there and thought about it, and I'm like,
I'm wondering, DA, if we say we know it really well, would you go crazy and buy like cars and mansions? I don't get it. Why would I buy cars and mansions? I don't understand that, man.
well, that is kind of true. And I'm not saying that, okay, well, women deserve credit too, or, you know, but it's just like being as though you guys are wired that way. It does take a lot of discipline to be able to know that, okay, this is going on over here. Let me move this way so I don't get tempted. I'm not seeing something and put myself in a situation. Now I fuck up my whole relationship, something that I built. So, I can rock with you on that.
If a guy who the average dude gives his girl $100, it should mean more than if a rich nigga gives his girl $100.
Yes, I couldn't understand. Bro, the auto-correcting thing is like making it hard to decipher what the hell you're saying.
Because that $100 to that average nigga means more. It's the same thing. Like, but cool, whatever. You know what else is super audacious? That so many women feel like they should have the best of us as men all to themselves. Because what that should mean is that you've done the work to also be the best of women, which we all know isn't true. So to think that you're going to go get your dream dude and then you be the only one that has access to him, I'm understanding now why, again, there's so many decent looking, attractive women that are single because everybody wants one of their own. Like, y'all want the same dudes, but then don't want to share one, but then don't want to do the work to not have to share one, to be a woman that man would want to commit to exclusively. Like, y'all okay being the 70 to 80, but forget that this nigga is 100%, so he expects 100. So just because you're 80, he might go get 5 here, 10 here, 4.
The question is, when you get that, you say you make $500,000, would you start buying luxury things and live in like, no, No. If let's say hypothetically, right? Let's say hypothetically, I win the lottery. I'm not gonna go crazy about it. I won't. It's like, to be honest, I'll probably still live in a house like this, or still live in my house. I'll probably still get the car that I have, right? It's a Nissan Rogue, nothing special. I'll probably get that car fixed, right? I'll probably get that car fixed, and that car will still be my daily driver. Now, I may buy. It's not like I wouldn't like indulge in some luxury, right? I'll probably buy a fancy car for like a weekend car kind of shit, but I'll still be, my Nissan will probably still be my daily driver. I'll probably still live in a house like this, right? So, no, I just don't. I wouldn't let money change me like that, right? Because if I don't care about luxuries now, why would I care about luxuries later just because I have money?
4 here, 6 there, and you still be the 80. And I'm seeing a lot of that now. Like, just being in these panels is crazy how like that epiphany just struck me. Because what I am seeing is the women who understand men's nature are the ones that have men that are at least prioritizing them, making them at least their number one. And instead of, they're not like out here like, well, I'm single by choice, which, that's not true. You're all single by your circumstances. And I think that the more women embrace the math behind it and then understand that in life you only get what you deserve, the better you guys will be.
Ladies, I don't second that. I think that you can be with a man.
Second, same thing. I don't need much to be happy as well.
And he commit to you, even if he got money and all that type of stuff. I don't.
Dun, dun, dun.
But I don't think that's what. I don't think that was what you're saying.
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, I'll probably buy more greatest shit, right? But it's like, that's who I am already. Okay, I'll probably buy things that I already love. Okay, I mean, like, I barely had money and I bought all this shit, right? So I'll probably buy some really badass greatest shit. So yes, but that's just who I. So money's not gonna change me. Okay, money's just gonna add to me. Okay, so I'm not gonna all of a sudden buy a mansion, buying like a Lamborghini or shit like that. No, right? So it's just usually it will just add to my life. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's not what I said at all.
What he was saying.
Maybe I didn't hear it properly.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that the best men, and we're not saying that a man having money makes him the best. It's one of the things, right? But for a woman's dream man, if she's not his dream woman, to expect him to just be with her is audacious. It's entitlement. It's almost delusional. Because why would that man be with a woman who, as these women they didn't fight when I said they're at least going to be the 80. Nobody said, well, I'll be 90 for him or I'll be 100 for him. I'll do the work to do those things. They just took the 80 because that's good enough for them. Why would that man have to settle for a woman who is less ideal for him than he is for her? So when women accept that and either one, do the work to become that man's dream woman, they're going to have to share niggas at the end of the day, or be cool being single, or start eating pussy. Like, you got 3 options. It's just whichever one you decide you want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Or there are also some of those men who are okay with, they don't want all the different options.
Absolutely.
No, my whole house would be like a man's cave, right? I would like crazy deck on my house. Yeah. I mean, like, it is true, right? I mean, like, it's always women that think money first.
You know how fucking lazy I am? I don't have time to have 5, 6 women because of dead ass. It's like I'm dating all 5 of y'all. And Miss Pearl is my favorite. I'm doing everything that Miss Pearl wants to do with the other 4 of y'all because I'm lazy. I'm not going to remember your birthdays. Your birthdays are all now June 5th. That's when we're celebrating birthdays that year. She's getting the Mother's Day gift. Y'all get, y'all get the, day after candy, like the February 15th, the side chick day. Y'all get candy from then. A lot of guys are like that because of the effort that it takes to deal with women in mass in large groups. I think it takes a special personality type to successfully deal with large groups of women. And there's a level of maturity and meticulousness that I just don't have. I'm a terrible liar. I'm gonna get caught lying. I share my location. So next thing I know,
it's so cute. Share your location.
Don't make it gay. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm with a woman.
Look at Willie being vulnerable, telling that he shared his location.
Y'all think it's vulnerable because I'm lazy. But whatever. Again, So now I'm with Miss Pearl because she's my favorite. The rest of you motherfuckers outside of my bushes waiting to catch me when I leave. Like I don't have that in me. But then there are some dudes who will actually tell you, like, you know what, listen, Miss Pearl is number one, Toya, you number two. On Wednesdays, we're not telling women that shit. And I'm seeing it's a large number of women who are willing to accept that now. Because
I'm seeing a growing population of women willing to do polyamory, right? Or, be one of many to like these top tier men, right? These high value men. I'm seeing this more and more. Yes, there's going to be a lot of Eskimo sisters from now on. Yes. I'm not sharing my location. I know that. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I'm like, this is the, I'm seeing more and more women doing that. And I'm like, women have like such low ass standards, in my opinion. I think that's low standard, right? Because he is like, let's say, top good looking, right? He's a high value man. You're willing to be an Eskimo sister, I guess.
Told up front, and then two, there's no deception, and the man is giving them the ability to choose.
What Mark, man?
Because I always think, right, a man that would have 5 women, what's stopping him from having 6? What's stopping him from having 7, 8, 9, and 10? What's stopping him from having more? The man is already gluttonous, right? The man is already gluttonous. You think you and your sisters will be the only one? No. So to think that that man has loyalty in him, you're definitely not dating him for that. You're definitely not with him for that.
I'm disappointed in you. Why you didn't tell Willie that he tweaking and that men's biology is not real, and that being monogamous, when you really in love, a real man don't see no other women. Why you ain't tell him that, Mark?
All I was saying is that if you end up with a man and he says that he'll commit to you, it's not you should be able to expect him to keep his word. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, I think that's fair, but I think we need to explore that, because I don't think it depends on who's saying that. That's where I think the disconnect. I don't meet a lot of women who get men and feel like I'm batting out of my league. I don't meet them. You don't hear them often say, I don't know how I got him. You don't never hear that. So when you're saying, I agree, a man should be ethical, a man should be integral. If he decides to commit to her, sure. But I think she needs to understand who he may be. And if he is that dude, sweetie, you need to understand his commitment is deeper. Like Willie used the example of the $100 for the broke dude. It's a significant sacrifice. Don't make it seem like you're super special. He chose you. He's doing a huge sacrificial thing. Women don't see it that way, unfortunately. That's the audacious nature. And I think we need to get some type of humility, developing in this space.
How do you think they should see it?
I think they need to assess the landscape on whom they're dealing with. If you know you're dealing with an above average,
they have to see it by not being egotistical. That's the problem. Modern day women are egotistical. Modern day women are egotistical. They can't see a man being their better. I don't think that there is a woman in the West that ever sees a man as her better. She may know he's her better, right? More money, more fame, more clout, whatever, but she doesn't recognize it, right? She gets with him because he's better, but she would never say it.
Average guy, not just looks, but just measure whom he may be, what he's capable of. I think you need to, tread softly. You need to understand if he's choosing to commit to you, you can't assess the fact that you're female and, well, he's lucky to have me. No, you're also lucky to have him. And you're probably more lucky to have him. But they don't see it that way.
Yeah. I agree that you should have appreciation for the person that you're with. Because I see it the same way.
I don't think it's not just appreciation. It's self-reflection, right? You have to realize that this man is sacrificing to be with me, right? I'm a 5. This man is a 10. He's choosing me, right? And it's honestly, I think, a level beyond appreciation, right? Appreciation is like, it's just like a 5 can appreciate being with a 5, right? It's a higher level of appreciation where you like, wow, it's like to realize that the sacrifice you are being settled for.
With a man who's with a woman who's extremely attractive, I don't think that I should operate in that relationship like that. You can have any man, but you got me. Let me just kind of kiss your feet every day for being with me. Like I don't think that's a thing, right? But I definitely do think that you should be appreciative of the person that you with.
I think appreciative is not the thing. I don't think he even means to prostrate. I do think he means you should be aware of the fact. And I'll say it in summer, women should be understand the fact that the nigga they want can get bitches. The same way he got you, he can get another one of you. So, and unfortunately for women, it's not always like that for y'all. Because remember, we're committing, we're the ones giving you the relationship. So for y'all, it would be, well, because you fucked the nigga that had bread. Because you fucked the nigga who looked good or that was a celebrity, you can probably fuck another one. And we know celebrities refer bitches to each other, so it's highly probable. But when it comes to dating one and getting married, that's just not how that shit goes for y'all. So a woman who's dating a guy who can get men, like the women who generally find attractive and desirable, she needs to be aware of that. She needs to kiss his ass. She doesn't need to let him talk to her crazy. But she does need to be aware of the man that she has and the fact that he has chosen her to commit to. That shit is again, it just mathematically speaking. This is typically why I say women are bad at math. Mathematically speaking, the niggas y'all want, bad bitches outnumber 1,000 to 1 the men that they all want. So if you're getting chose out of, you're one of the 1,000 he picked to commit to by himself, you won the fucking lottery.
I agree with the second part of what you said, right? I definitely if you like my girl know I get she know listen, I'm him, right? But the other side of that is the first thing you said about a woman not being able to necessarily get another man to commit to her. I think that's because a lot of them move like they're retarded. Because it's a simple. I'm sorry, I didn't tell y'all retarded. I said y'all move like it when it.
First of all, you're not getting the man that you want to commit to you.
Because when it come to men, it's so easy. We so easy. We not that hard, right?
That's not what I meant, Mont. There are too few of you. It's a numbers game. It's just numbers and then it's proximity. I didn't even take how the bitches act. I didn't even take that into account. That's not what I was talking about. The fact that, again, there are fewer of you than there are of them. So we're saying you, like the desirable nigga, them, the bad bitches. There's way more bad bitches than there are niggas that are literally him.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
But another part of that is a lot of these guys, for whatever reason, seem to be picking from the same small pool of women.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but a lot of these guys choose to still pick that same small pool. Because think about it. I think a lot of these niggas got the same baby mom. I think one of these girls got 4 or 5 of these niggas. Future
explained it, and he's not even an athlete. He said because these women know the life, so they don't have to come in and run these chicks through I'm saying I'm him indoctrination. They know what to expect. That's how some of these girls like Lauren London got kids by multiple rich celebrity niggas, because these dudes date the same girls because it's they hire you as an employer. If you work in an industry long enough, you start hiring y'all see the same people going job to job. The same graphic designers, the same studio photographers getting booked because their names ring out. That's why. But niggas not thinking about this though. To say not celebrity dudes with money, the 1%ers who just got a bag. They're not like that. They're not dating the same types. They're not dating the same women. They may look the same. They may have the same aesthetic, but they're not dating the same. Me and you, M. White, JR, Trev, and True in the same circle with all of our bags and 1,000 women, we not picking the same woman, because if I know M. White done hit something already, I don't want to fuck behind my bro. If I know Trev was in a relationship with her, I'm not dating, but we don't have that.
Interesting. Guys, thank you for being here. I love you guys. That is it for tonight. Thank you for showing the love, right? I know it's a slow night. I'm pretty sure. I think, what is it? I think Evil Eddie's probably watching the Ronda Rousey Netflix shit, right? I think he's probably watching that. So, but guys, thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you guys for showing the support. I love you guys. You guys are amazing, right? I hate these podcasts that owe me talk about black problems. But that's all. Everything else is irrelevant. Just that race. Why? Yeah, that's the thing where I don't really view about race, right? I talk about all men. I talk about all men, so. No, you don't. No, you don't. What? Guys, I love you, right? Big Bars, thank you for being here. Yeah, I mean, he might be watching. He might be watching the Netflix thing, right? So probably a lot of them are watching the Netflix fight. It's all good. I mean, it is whatever. It's slow. It's slow. It's all good. I love you guys. Laughing Man, first to be here, last to be here. I love you, man. I love for all the support you show me. I love you, man. Big Bars, Rudy, Justin, thank you guys for being here. You guys are amazing. Brent, thank you for all the love and support. Roots, thank you for being here. I love you. Yeah, you guys are amazing. That is it for tonight. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Love you guys.